This is the Fleet Air Arm Museum at Yeovilton in Somerset, and they have just opened a brand new carrier experience, and it's looking at basically life at sea on an airfield, or on an airfield at sea. What are the new exhibits that people will see here at the carrier display?
Well, we have a whole new introductory area, and it's talking about sort of the place is the general theme for that space. And it's just talking about how aircraft carriers are airfields at sea, so they can go anywhere whenever needed, travel all over the world. And then you're going to travel into an existing flight deck, but there will be mostly new aircraft on display. So we've pulled several aircraft out of store that haven't been on display in over 20 years, and we've put them on the flight deck for visitors to enjoy.
You're about to head onto the flight deck of a Royal Navy aircraft carrier, one of the busiest, most dangerous places on Earth. Here, you will start your exploration of the largest and most important warship in the Royal Navy.
So how much is this new display sort of cost?
We've got approximately £1 million worth of investment that's come in to form the new updated Fleet Air Arm Museum's carrier experience. A lot of that investment has come from the Goslin Foundation. We are very thankful to the Goslin Foundation and also to Admiral of the United Kingdom, Sir Donald Goslin, whose vision and investment back in the early days, the early 90s, saw the very first carrier experience open here in 1994. And it's great that the Goslin Foundation have been able to support the museum once again with this upgrade. Here we are in 2022.
What can visitors expect to see in this new display?
So you've got a series of new galleries overlaid on the existing footprint. So we first explore almost place that an aircraft carrier is an airfield at sea and can go anywhere in the world, and we then on the flight deck explore progress and how the evolution of the aircraft carrier and also development of technology and evolution of naval aviation in general has seen carriers progress from Sopwith Pup, for example, that would have been the first aircraft to land on a carrier at sea. Commander Dunning's first landed in 1916, over 100 years of aviation, past the Falklands and eventually looking towards the Queen Elizabeth carriers as well. We've also got our island substructure open again to the public with a refresh, with cutting-edge technology, blended projection and Pepper's Ghost type projection to enable visitors to see what life was like on board and explore the people aspect of those that work and serve on board aircraft carriers. All of that builds us towards a sort of crescendo looking towards the current era.
You haven't got a Lightning on display yet, but hopefully you may be able to perhaps get hold of one or find some way of displaying.
I think in terms of evolution, it's the next aircraft that we want to acquire, and I think for me we've designed the exhibition, certainly the flight deck, with that evolution in mind, so that there is a gap. We can update the AV, and yes, it becomes probably a few years to come, but it is an aspiration that we'll eventually get an F-35 for the collection here.
You're also home to a Concorde, aren't you?
We're home to a unique Concorde, Concorde 002, Britain's first Concorde almost, that flew for the first time in 1969, landed here at Yeovilton in 1976, and we have Concorde on display in Hall 4, and it's also a unique opportunity to actually sort of tour and get aboard Concorde. Concorde's one of the few aircraft within the collection that visitors can actually sort of walk on through, learn about how the technology of that era helped to shape supersonic flight over the few years of development.
I don't know if you can see that on my phone, but I'll put it on anyway on the video. But that's a picture of my good self many years ago on HMS Ark Royal. This exhibition here tells the story of naval aviation, and in particular, aircraft carriers, and it's definitely very well worth coming to see if you want to understand a little bit more about this area of aviation. Then this is certainly the place to come to.